Welcome to Oklahoma Music Legends Podcast. I'll be your host, Tommy Henshaw. Now, you may not be familiar with Oklahoman Sheb Wooley, but I'm pretty sure after this episode you'll realize you are familiar with his work. Hey, stand by for the story. What are the odds that two Oklahoma music legends would come from a small western Oklahoma town nearly as far west as you can go on old Highway 66 and still be in Oklahoma, whose largest population ever was 2,200 folks, and is currently half of that? Little Erick, Oklahoma can boast of two hometown boys who made it big in music, television, and movies. Sheb Wooley worked with Roger Miller on Roger Miller's uncle's farm and was married to Roger's cousin for a time. He also taught Roger some guitar chords and bought him a fiddle. So you can guess by now, the other favorite son of Erick, Oklahoma is, you guessed it, Roger Miller. Sheb grew up on his family's farm, working the fields and tending horses. He learned to ride at an early age and became a working cowboy. He became such a good rider that later he had success on the rodeo circuit. Besides riding and breaking horses, Sheb had a talent for music. When he was only 15 years old, he formed a band, the Plainview Melody Boys, who periodically performed on radio station KASA in Elk City, Oklahoma. When World War II rolled around, Sheb tried to enlist in the Army, but he couldn't pass the physical due to numerous injuries he had suffered while on the rodeo circuit. So Sheb welded and worked in the oil fields for a time. Later he loaded up and moved to Fort Worth, where he fronted his own radio show on WPAB, there in Fort Worth, which was sponsored by Calumet Baking Powder. He played and traveled with his country western band, the Calumet Indians. In 1950, Sheb lit out for California, where he hoped to find a career in the new entertainment medium, television. After taking a few acting lessons in Hollywood, Sheb landed his first acting role. Sheb appeared in dozens of Western films, working alongside such actors as Errol Flynn, Slim Pickens, Gary Cooper in High Noon, and with John Wayne. If you name a Saturday morning Western television show in the 50s, I'll bet Sheb Wooley appeared in it. From The Lone Ranger, My Friend Flicka, Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp, to The Cisco Kid. Now you get the idea. Still not sure who he is? Well, his big break came when he was cast as Scout Pete Nolan alongside Eric Fleming, who was Gil Favor, and a young Rowdy Yates, a.k.a. Clint Eastwood, in Rawhide. Sheb appeared on the big screen too, in Giant, The Outlaw Josie Wales, Silverado, and alongside Gene Hackman in the movie Hoosiers, he was the high school principal Cletus Summers. In all, Sheb Wooley appeared in over 70 films. Now, by this time, you're probably asking yourself, well, what about the music? Here's the answer. During his movie and television acting roles, he continued to write and record songs. In 1958, it was a wacky kind of song, The Purple People Eater, which earned him considerable fame. He wrote and sang the song. Sheb recorded humorous song parodies long before Weird Al came along. His song parodies were recorded under the pseudonym Ben Colder, where he used his drunken persona. So Sheb actually had two recording careers, one as a serious country western singer, his second as the not very sober Ben Colder. Both of his singing personas can be seen by searching him on YouTube. Sheb became a regular on the hit TV series Hee Haw, appearing as the drunken country singer Ben Colder. He even wrote the show's theme song. Now, if you're into movie trivia questions, here's one for you. Who's credited with the voicing of the famous Wilhelm scream? Why is it called the Wilhelm scream? First, Sheb is credited as the voice actor who created the Wilhelm scream. The stock recording of this distinctive scream has been used by sound effects teams in 382 films as of April 2018. It's been used in countless westerns and some of the Indiana Jones sequels, as well in most of the Star Wars films. The sound is named after a Private Wilhelm, a character in The Charge at Feather River, a 1953 western in which the character gets shot in the thigh with an arrow. This was the third time the sound was used in film. There's you 3 great trivia questions. While Sheb is credited with the scream, he never received any royalties for its use. In 1962, the single by Sheb Wooley, That's My Pa, would be Sheb Wooley's first hit on the country charts and was also his most successful release, hitting the #1 spot for 1 week and staying on the charts for 17 weeks. In 1968, Sheb received the CMA Comedian of the Year Award and 2 Golden Boot Awards. Sheb won the Western Heritage Award for 9 straight years in recognition of his work in westerns. He performed until an illness forced him to retire in 1999. Now, Sheb Wooley had 3 creative artistic careers: songwriter, singer, and actor. Not too bad for a real Oklahoma rodeo cowboy. You've been listening to Oklahoma Music Legends. Hey, please tell your friends we can be heard on iTunes, Buzzsprout, Stitcher, Google Music Play, and directly on our website, oklahomamusiclegends.com, just by clicking the podcast page. Check out our ever-increasing eclectic gallery page. For Oklahoma Music Legends, I'm Tommy Henshaw. Thanks for listening.